Good morning, guys. I figured I'd hop on here and share a quick story about how I contracted HIV. So I'm gonna start like at the beginning. So basically, I dropped out of school at it was either 16 or 17. I moved away from home and I moved to the nearest big city. Okay, once I moved to the nearest big city, I ended up getting into prostitution. So I did get into prostitution, but that is not how I contracted HIV. So basically, once I moved to the big city, I met a group of people who became my friends. And one of the guys that I was friends with, me and him had a one night stand. And that's how I contracted HIV. He actually had AIDS, and I contracted HIV from him. He was already sick. I will say, when I stayed over at his house, because we were at his mom's house, his mom came in the room in the morning and she was yelling something, but she was speaking in Creole, so I didn't know what she was saying, but she was yelling at him about something, probably for having me there, I'm assuming. And then I do remember seeing him take some medication. Of course, I didn't think anything about it. I was young, so I didn't think anything about it. After that, about 2 weeks later, I actually got really, really, really sick. Like, I couldn't walk. I had a really high fever, went to the hospital, and they told me it was probably the flu and just to let it go away, come back if it doesn't get better. So that's what I did. I ended up leaving. I tried to walk home because in this big city, everything's close. So I tried to walk home. I could not walk. I had to end up calling a taxi to come get me because I couldn't walk. It was really bad. So I got back to the apartment. Everything seemed okay. I started getting better. I could walk again. I didn't have the high fever. But then my hair started falling out. Like bad, guys. Like, oh my word. Like, I thought I was going bald. Didn't have any clue why, but I do remember I went to Bath and Body Works and asked them if they had anything that helps with hair loss. They didn't really have anything. And then I ended up actually going to get a perm, like back in the day when we used to get those curly perms. I got a curly perm, thinking it would help to make my hair thicker. It actually made it worse because it damaged my hair. But that stopped too. So my hair stopped falling out. It's kept growing. It's never been the same. Like, my hair used to be very, 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 very thick, and the texture was different. It was like more silky. It's never been like that again. After that, I went on living. Didn't think anything was wrong. I ended up getting pregnant, not from the same guy. This was a different guy. And soon after I got pregnant, I moved down here to Florida with my mom. And down here, I got sick and I ended up getting a really bad cough. Like, it would not go away. It was bad. Like, it lasted forever. It was a hard cough. It would not go away. So my mom took me to the doctors. They thought it was just a cough. So they sent me with cough medicine, sent me on my way. Again, I thought I was fine. Kept living life. I ended up moving back up north to be around my friends. And that's when I went to see the prenatal doctor. They asked me if they could do an HIV test. I told them yes. And then 2 weeks later, they called me and said that I needed to come back in for more testing. Of course, I'm young. I'm not thinking anything. I go in. Two doctors take me in a room, and they tell me that I've tested positive for HIV. And they also go on to tell me, because this was when we didn't have the great medications that we do today, they also go on to tell me that I probably have 5 years to live max. So I am devastated. I go into shock. I don't cry, I just go into shock. I walk home from the clinic and I feel like everybody that is looking at me can tell that I have HIV. It's the weirdest feeling in the world. But after that, I heard that my friend ended up dying. He was in and out of the hospital a lot, and then he ended up eventually passing away from AIDS, of course. After that, I had my first son, and then all of my children are negative, because I've been undetectable for many, many, many years. I kind of found out I was positive around the same year that the good HIV meds came out. Like the first medication that I was put on was AZT, which was one of the very first HIV medications back then. But soon after, I was able to get on art therapy, which is the cocktail of the good medicines. So yeah, I've just been living my life since then. I mean, I could go on and on about what's happened since then. I've never been sick again, HIV related. I did have COVID, but that's it. Like the medicines are a game changer. Not only do they keep you healthy, but you also cannot transmit the virus. That's why all three of my kids are negative. So yeah, basically that's my HIV story in a nutshell. Um, just be careful out there. You can't trust anybody. Anybody could have it that you don't think has it. Um, and then I know a lot of people make light of HIV because it's not a death sentence anymore, which is great, but it still comes with a lot of stigma, and it also comes with a bunch of doctor's appointments. Like you're constantly under a doctor's care, which I find aggravating sometimes, having to give blood all the time, go to the doctor. But could have been worse. I mean, thank God I'm still here and God has blessed my life tremendously since those days. So yeah, I just want to share that short story, let you know that it was from a friend that I trusted. It was a one night stand, so all it takes is one time. But if you guys have any questions, you can message me or comment, on the post. Talk to you later. Bye.